What's up guys, my name is Corey Zender and welcome to my YouTube channel. So if you're watching this is my first video and I want to cover two things in this video. First, I want to talk about what my channel is going to be discussing so you know what to expect if you want to follow me going forward. And also I want to talk about how to overcome shyness and achieve your goals. What are 4 things you could do, a 4-step process that I use to personally overcome it, to be successful and overcome shyness and really become the person you want to be. So first, let's talk about my YouTube channel. So the reason I'm creating this YouTube channel is I have been a student of personal development for the past 6 to 7 years. It has really become a passion of mine. I've read, goodness, probably 50 plus books on the topic. I majored in psychology in college, but that's honestly not really where I got most of my information from. I tended to get a lot more value from reading these personal development books myself, whether it be Tony Robbins, Paul McKenna, any kind of thought leader in the industry, and specifically the area that I'm most interested in and what I'm really going to be talking a lot about on this channel is inner game. So your thoughts, your beliefs, how they affect your reality, your life, and the world you live in, and what are some ways you can fix your inner game. So we're going to be dealing with the subconscious mind on this channel, ways you can reprogram that, ways you can engineer it from the inside to build that life that you want on the outside. So a quote that I live by a lot is, "As is above, so is below." And that's a mystical quote. You can look it up. I won't go into it in this video. But essentially what it means is your external reality is reflective and representative of your internal reality. And it goes much deeper than that, but for the purpose of what I'm going to be talking about in this video and my channel altogether, that's how I like to talk about it. And we're going to be working on talking about ways you can improve your internal so that your external can start to turn into what you want it to be. So, you know, we'll get into that in another video, but I just want to give you an idea on the things you'll be dealing with here. So if you're really interested in improving your mental state, getting out of your head, understanding what you want, having more clarity, being the person that you want to be from a mental standpoint so you can actually go out in the world and make that happen, then I think you're really going to get a lot of value from my channel. So without further ado, let me dive into today's topic, which is, what are some things you can do to overcome shyness and achieve whatever you want to achieve? So my background with this answer, I won't go fully into my story. That'll be a topic for another video. But I grew up painfully shy. I really struggled socially. When I was young, I kind of just dove into video games because I didn't want to go outside and socialize with other people. I know a lot of you can probably relate if you found this video. But that's okay and all when you're a kid, but when you start to become an adolescent and you want to, get a girlfriend, get a boyfriend, whatever, you really start to struggle. And when you don't have a voice, it can be very tough. So this 4-step process, which I'm going to give you today, is something that I've personally used to overcome shyness. It's something I've implemented in my life and I still use today, and I'm achieving great results from it. And yes, it deals with the subconscious mind, but that's only one part of it. So to get started, step number 1, take responsibility for your life. Now, some of you may already have this taken care of, but what I mean by that is you're responsible for the life you have and where you're at currently in life. Understand that. I know a lot of us have these stories in our heads of, I'm the way I am because something happened in my childhood, my parents raised me a certain way, I missed that crucial period of social development where I would have gotten this taken care of. Erase that. That's irrelevant. That's the story that you've created in your head and you continue to replay it. If you keep replaying that, then any attempt you make to escape from that and grow is going to be rejected. Your subconscious mind's going to say, wait, what are you doing? That's not you. This is who you are. So first of all, you're not a finished product and you can change. You just have to change your story and the way you're wired. Okay? So if you're already at that point, great, but just understand you're responsible for your life and accept that. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of trouble changing. Step number 2, subconscious reprogramming. So one thing I struggled with due to a lifetime, or not a lifetime, but a childhood of being shy and not having a lot of self-esteem is believing, let's say I was doing affirmations, believing them, trying to become someone that I wasn't currently, and changing. And you know, if you've ever tried this before, you probably notice a lot of resistance from your subconscious mind. When you say, you know, I'm confident, I can go after whatever I want in life, your subconscious will say, no, you're not. And it feels like you're lying to yourself a little bit. So what you have to do is really clear up a lot of the crap that lives in your subconscious mind and replace it with more helpful beliefs. And a huge strategy that I did and I recommend for you is I got into hypnosis, and I didn't see a hypnotherapist. I used hypnosis audio files. Specifically, there's a hypnotist named Paul McKenna, famous, you could look him up, and he has a hypnosis program called Instant Confidence. And I came across this when I was in college, and I was really seeking more confidence. I was like, what the hell, I'll give hypnosis a try. I was a psychology major. So I took it to the extreme, I'll put it that way. I would listen to that audio recording before bed every single day, and I did that for about a period of 2 years straight. And the first time I did it, I remember I was like, this is kind of weird, you know, just hearing someone's voice in your head. And after a while, I realized it's actually a really great way to put yourself to sleep. I would put it on my iPod. Yes, I still have one of those. I don't necessarily want to stream or use Bluetooth headphones while I'm sleeping, but I would listen to that every day before bed, and it would put me in a trance. A lot of times I would just wake up in the middle of the night and my headphones would still be in, my earbuds, and I would just take them out. But nonetheless, it's not something you're going to notice the first time you do it, but I would say as close to a week of doing it every single day, you are going to notice a difference. It starts off kind of subtle, but you'll notice in your daily life, you're more confident. I noticed a lot of the beliefs I had that were holding me back just started to kind of dissipate and lose their credibility in my mind from listening to this hypnosis program. Some people view it as making yourself vulnerable, exposing your subconscious mind like that, but really, it's not. If you know what's going on in the hypnosis audio session, it's not. It's completely safe. A lot of you, if you've never been hypnotized before, or you think you have, you actually have. I mean, think about those moments where you're driving on the highway and you kind of snap back into it after a while of not being conscious of driving. And you're like, whoa, how did I get here? And you're like maybe 1 hour ahead of where you were on a 4-hour drive, let's say. You were in a trance. And the only difference is you're opening your subconscious mind to new programming. So it doesn't resist as much. So I recommend you start a daily practice of hypnosis. It doesn't have to be Paul McKenna. There's free sessions out there if you don't want to buy one. I personally trust the paid versions though. Paul McKenna is one I would definitely recommend because I've had great success with him. But start a daily practice of hypnosis. And don't expect this to be the only thing to get you there, because that's going to lead me to step number 3, which is taking action. So I know this is the part that a lot of people say they're willing to do, but they aren't. Bottom line is you have to take action. Hypnosis helps, but it's only part of it. You're going to get more confidence and self-esteem and charisma from actually taking action and building reference experiences or new stories of you being a certain way. So let's say you're shy and you start to do something like, for instance, what I did was I joined Toastmasters International. I had already overcome a lot of shyness at this point, but I was afraid of public speaking and I felt that I had bad charisma. So knowing that I had to take action, I joined Toastmasters International and I started giving speeches, something I was very uncomfortable doing at first, still am to this day, but my comfort zone expanded step by step. So speech 1, my comfort level expanded about to here. Speech 2, here. Speech 3, here. You get the point. So you're always going to be uncomfortable. Just accept that. Understand that that's never going to go away. You can do things to help control your anxiety and to get better at it. But the bottom line is, unless you're doing this every day, you're not going to get better at it. So if you're trying to overcome shyness, what you can do is hold yourself accountable. Maybe set a goal of talking to at least one person you don't know a day. And it can be as simple as when you're checking out at the grocery store, saying to the nice lady checking you out. Hey, how's your day going so far? You know, just something like that. You don't have to continue the conversation. If you're uncomfortable doing that, you could just walk past someone and just say, hey, how you doing? And just keep walking. You don't have to continue from there, but what you want to do is constantly push that boundary. So if you start with something that little, maybe expand to trying to actually start a conversation, or, you know, it doesn't have to be a stranger. It could be maybe someone in your workplace that you haven't spoken to yet. Just make the effort, put yourself out there, because if you do that on top of the subconscious reprogramming, you're going to overcome shyness in half the time, because that you're covering both sides of it. You're covering your subconscious mind from the hypnosis and reprogramming that, and then you're covering your conscious mind from actually taking action, building proof, real life experiences on you doing this in real life. So take action, okay? Be sure to do that. That's way more important than any kind of subconscious reprogramming you can do. In fact, you could really just take action and do it and actually overcome shyness that way, but I've noticed that you become more brave and you're more likely to change if you work on the subconscious mind at the same time through hypnosis. So definitely be sure to do your daily hypnosis practice. That'll make this step easier for you. You still have to do it. It's still not going to be easy, but it'll make it easier. You'll be more likely to do it. Okay? So step 4. Keep your momentum, okay? When you start to grow, like, it's human nature to want to return to comfort. We're animals at the end of the day. We're programmed from birth, and I would almost go as far as saying in our DNA, to want to seek comfort and avoid pain. And like, a lot of people think that once you start this journey and you start to get progress, it's effortless from there. It's not. You got to hold yourself accountable. You're not always going to feel like doing the thing that you have to do when you take action, joining this, you know, doing the social event, whether it be joining an intramural kickball league where you don't know a single person on the team, and almost forcing yourself in social situations, or if you move to a new city and you don't know anyone, maybe someone at work you see the potential for you to be friends with, almost forcing yourself in there. It doesn't always get easier. You're not always going to feel like it, but you just have to understand, and the most successful people on the planet understand this, is you have to keep the momentum. You have to keep going. Otherwise, you're going to regress. And no one's perfect. I regress all the time. And, you know, be sure to not be too hard on yourself when you do, but just understand, okay, I took one step back. That's okay. I accept that. But I know where I want to be, and I'm going to get back on track and take action, because that's what it takes to reach my goal. So keep that momentum. Keep going. Don't stop. And you will overcome shyness. If it was comfortable, everyone would do it, guys. That's what you got to understand. And I like to remind myself of that a lot of the times, because no one's perfect. Nobody is. I know some of these guys on YouTube try to act like they are, but they're not. I'm not perfect. I don't try to act like I am. And I'm on this journey too. Another thing you got to understand is personal development isn't a destination. It's like a peak that you're never going to reach in your life. Because if you reached it, that would imply that you can stop working. You can never stop working towards it. It's a lifelong journey. And it's constantly walking uphill on the mountain. Some peaks are harder, you know, some slopes are steeper than others, but it's a constant journey. And when it becomes habitual, when you start doing these things every day, it's going to start to become easier. But just remember that you're not perfect. If you slip up, that's okay. Accept that. Don't be too hard on yourself. Some people are too hard on themselves and they end up quitting. Continue the journey, trust the process, and just know that the peak doesn't exist. It's metaphorical. You're going to be climbing this mountain for the rest of your life, and you're going to achieve amazing things at each level you reach. Let's say metaphorically, each 50 feet you go up could be something huge in your life. Like, you could be someone who's terribly shy, doesn't have a lot of friends. You start to make friends. Maybe you meet a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and just know that, like, more view that as the peak of where you want to be, is the milestones. Okay, I've reached the like, if you're into hiking, I've reached the 100-mile mark, or the 100 feet mark. Sorry, I don't hike a lot. But yeah, just view it as that. That's a better way to look at it. And you could really do it if you want to. Just believe in yourself. A quote I love, which I don't remember where I heard it from, is, if you don't believe in miracles, how can you ever expect them to occur in your life? And that goes for everything. Like, you have to believe that change is possible. Don't sabotage yourself. Work on your subconscious. So just to recap the steps: step 1, take responsibility for your life. Step 2, subconscious reprogramming. So start a daily hypnosis practice, or subliminal messages, that works just as well. Step 3, take action. Put yourself out there, get uncomfortable, work for it. And then step 4, keep your momentum and just keep going up that slope that never ends, and you will reach massive levels of success in your life. You'll become a different person, but not really a different person, the true you, who you're meant to be, before all this societal programming and conditioning changed you to something that you're not, to this fake story that you keep playing out in your head. So try those steps out, guys. Let me know how you like them. If you found value out of this video, I'd really appreciate it if you would go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to hold myself accountable to video a week on this channel. And if you're interested in this, I would encourage you to subscribe, follow my channel, like my page on Facebook. I'm going to be putting out more content out there. This is a new channel, so I could really use any support I could get. And yeah, I really appreciate it, guys. I wish you the best of luck. Feel free to comment and ask any questions, and I'll be sure to get back to you. So thank you, guys. Once again, I'm Corey Zender, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.